This is William Richardson, the original money doctor, the voice of reason, with your financial checkup and question of the day. I have my daughter here again, Esther. Esther, how you doing today?
Hi, Dad. I'm great. It's great to be here again.
Great. You're looking good today. What's the question we have for us?
The question of the day comes from emails, messages, callers, and personal contact. Today's question is, why did my Social Security get taxed?
Why did my Social Security get taxed? You must have made more money than you're supposed to, according to the government, and we'll answer that question in just a moment. What do you think about that, Esther?
I think it's unfair for the government to tax your Social Security.
That's a good statement. We'll get back to that. Thank you. Okay, unfair. Yes, I think it is unfair, Esther. Why do we work into a system, pay into it, and then have to pay tax on it? And some people have to pay as high as 85%. It's pretty crazy. So why is that? I often talk about traditional retirement programs and ask, really, whose retirement program is that? Are you funding your own or are you funding Uncle Sam's? And Social Security can kind of be like that. Basically, it's a bank account that the government has that is empty. They've kind of robbed the American public of that money long ago. There's not enough money there to continue to fund that. And where does that come from? From borrowing from something else, from taxes, from defunding another program? Do we have our new administration go through and look at every government program that we have and make decisions and say, we're going to fund this one, we're not going to fund the other one? This is an entitlement program that we guaranteed the people to pay them in retirement, and we're not going to forget them either. We're going to take care of our seniors. The issue is, though, we are not putting enough money into it. So we're taking more money out than we're putting into it. When it was originally designed, we actually lived a lot less. So I wasn't expecting to pay people out for the amount of time that it's doing. And we had a lot more workforce going into it than we have now. So it's really one of those, when we talk about an IRA or 401k or even an annuity, they're all tax time bombs as the money goes in before taxes. And this is really a time bomb ticking away too, because the money is simply not there unless we make some serious changes of funding that program, because we're not having the workforce that we had when it was originally created. So why do I get my Social Security taxed? It originally wasn't supposed to be taxed. It was supposed to be a benefit to you, a free gift for working hard. And then in what would we say, our grandparents from my age, or a lot younger, your great-grandparents, when they were working, your parents were working, you were promised to have a pension. Now, there is a few companies that still have a pension around. If you're lucky enough to be working for the government, or maybe lucky to be a career politician, a congressman, you get money for life. It's not many businesses that allow you to do that. And then some of the pensions that are around, there's no money there. The companies have taken the money, similar to what we're having issues with our local and state governments, when folks are going to draw out their money, which is paid out to them in annuity, and the money's not there. They simply borrowed it, or thought they were going to get a better rate of return, invested it into the market crashed, and the expectations that they would make it back, that they would borrow it and pay it back, that they would be an honest banker, right? Okay, so that didn't happen. It's not happening, and it's going to continue to happen. And I would foresee in the future, unless President Trump decides to do something different, drastically different, that in the future, your standard retirement accounts will be taxed. to continue to fund the programs that need to be funded, because for so long we've just been robbing from the American people, and we can't continue to have the debt that we have. So you have a lot of issues, not just your taxes being taxed, but you do know, if you've been listening or you have any understanding of taxes on your retirement accounts, when you pull out that money, if it hasn't been taxed, you're going to pay taxes on it. Now, what's going to happen if they have an additional tax? They have an excise or a penalty tax on top of that. So your Social Security was supposed to be never taxed. Now it's taxed. Now it's taxed on income. Then it's taxed on another tax. What happens if that happens to your IRA, your 401k, your standard defined benefit programs? Now you're getting your Social Security taxed. You're going to get your retirement account taxed, which you're already doing that now. So you put money in, and then basically in the first 2 to 3 years of retirement, you're going to pay back all the benefits that you did up front of funding it, and all the discount that you thought you were getting back in just a few years. Now, does that make sense to really do that? So does that make sense to rely on Social Security? I like to tell people, if you think you're really going to rely on Social Security, you really don't need to be talking to me. But if that's what you're going to rely on, you're probably should be looking at a different country to live in. Someplace that has a lot less overhead, maybe where the dollar will go a little farther if it's still around at that time, if it hasn't collapsed and came back in time. Because my philosophy is, and it's not everyone's philosophy, but it's many people out there, that we are going to have a crash, and part of that will be the dollar collapsing, the market, real estate, everything starting over, which could be a good thing. And if that's going to happen, it's probably better to happen on a watch where you have someone who's ran a business and lost money and made money. So is it a bad thing that you have someone running your company that knows how to get through hard times, that created a business, did well, lost money, figured it out, and did it again, maybe lost money several times, but now is successful? Do you want to learn from someone else's mistakes, or do you want to learn from your own? Typically, you want to learn from someone else's mistakes. It's a lot cheaper to go down the road and follow someone who already put the path out, made the mistakes, and is showing you the way to do it, than to say, you know what, I can do it on my own. It's very costly to make mistakes, especially when it's related to your finances. So if you're starting something in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, the older you get, the less time you have to make mistakes. You really can't be making mistakes when you start investing for the first time in your 40s and 50s. It needs to be right on, and you can't afford to lose 20 or 30% of your money 5-10 years down the road when the market corrects itself. You just don't have the time to get that money back if you want to have any type of retirement, unless you plan to continue to work, or you and your spouse continue to work, or you're going to cut back your lifestyle. You're not going to live that dream that you thought of 20, 30 years ago when you started working, and you're going to retire when you're 65 or 70, whatever your magic number is, and go off and travel in your RV all the time if that's what you wanted to do. That takes planning, money, discipline, and letting your money grow over time in a safe environment with a fair rate of return, giving you access, control to that money with some upside potential with no downside risk. So what would you do? Basically, with your Social Security, if you can, at this point, if you're not already taking Social Security, is just pull that off. Pull it off your balance sheet and allow that $1,500 or $2,000, whatever you're going to be getting, just to be extra money in your planning. But don't use it as calculation money to say that you're going to use that money to put away and to grow. Maybe put it where it's going to cover some taxes for you. And if you get the full benefit of it, if it's there when you retire, if the government hasn't spent all the money or decided not to fund any of it, it's not going to make a difference to you. It's not really going to matter to you. It's really just going to be a free gift. And with that said, make sure that your Social Security doesn't get taxed because it's really not something that you're focusing on, that you're planning on. You're working for your side fund to grow and triple compound. And with that said, keep your money safe. Until we meet again.
This is Esther Richardson, and you're listening to The Original Money Doctor with the financial checkup of the day. Ask about our educational, private, and public online seminars, video series, and live broadcasting events. Visit the event calendar at moneydoctoradvisor.com.
Living with purpose and real intent. If you're as concerned as I am, and you're not the type to sit around and wait for something to happen, there's something you can do. A special gift invitation. How to get growth, protection, and income for your money. Send a request for a special promo code to watch this new online video training series absolutely free in the comfort of your home or office. You will learn how hard-working American families protect and control their retirement money and never expose it to stock market risk or massive taxation. Watch this free video series and learn the rules. Send requests to info@citizensfinancialsecurity.com. That's info@citizensfinancialsecurity.com to view video online. Video series is shared as a public benefit for enlightenment.
You've been listening to The Original Money Doctor, inspiring you to rise above it all and plan ahead with guaranteed success. William F. Richardson is The Original Money Doctor. Tune in next week, same time, same channel, 105.5.